Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we sift through a whole heap of information and we'll pull out the important bits for you. Today, we're diving into something really significant. Combined therapy for childhood developmental challenges. And look, this isn't just about listing another therapy option. We're talking about a truly integrated way to help kids, well, not just cope, but really thrive, reach their full potential. I know many of you might be searching, maybe looking at autism centers, trying to figure out how speech and occupational therapy fit together. Okay, let's unpack this.
Exactly. And our mission really is to introduce this idea of combined therapy.
Mhm.
It's a model built for a smoother experience. It simplifies what, let's be honest, can feel like a totally overwhelming search for the right support. And what's really key here, I think, is how it gets right at the way different developmental areas are all linked up. They don't exist in isolation.
That's a really important point because when you say combined therapy, I imagine a lot of parents listening are thinking, okay, does this mean I'm still juggling three different specialists, different appointments? So can you define what combined therapy actually is in this model? How does it work?
Yeah, that's the crucial difference, isn't it? So combined therapy here means you have a single expert, one person working with your child on behavior, communication, and motor skills, all together in one comprehensive session. Now, importantly, this isn't about having, three therapists crowded in a room. Not at all. It's about one very highly skilled therapist who can fluidly weave these areas together during the session. The whole foundation is this understanding that a child's behavior, how they speak or communicate, their physical movement, it's all connected deeply. Think about it like a child's confidence might be tied up with their ability to communicate effectively. Or maybe their motor skills impact how they regulate sensory input, which then affects behavior. Having that single expert means they can spot these links in real time. There's no delay, no waiting for one specialist to pass notes to another. Now, of course, if a child has really significant needs in one specific area, say very complex speech issues, then yes, absolutely, additional specialist support can be brought in. That's always an option. But these combined sessions provide that strong, integrated base.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, that single viewpoint, catching things that might otherwise be missed. But the practical question then is, how does one therapist actually do that? Effectively cover speech, OT, and behavior. These are usually separate disciplines, right?
Right. And it really comes down to specialized training and a shift in perspective. While the core methodology is applied behavior analysis, ABA, our therapists receive specific training. They learn to integrate the fundamental principles of occupational therapy and speech therapy into basically every interaction, every session. It's like looking at the child's world through, well, multiple lenses simultaneously, not just one narrow focus. So, practically speaking, take understanding behavior. So we look beyond the surface action. We're always asking, okay, why is this happening? Is the child trying to tell us something they can't say with words? Or they may be overwhelmed by a sound, a texture. This helps us get to the root cause. And communication. It's not saved for a separate slot. Every moment is an opportunity. Therapists actively help kids use words, maybe gestures, even pictures, to ask for things, say how they feel, ask for a break. It's woven into whatever they're doing, playing, learning, transitioning. Same with motor skills. Fine motor, gross motor, they're built into activities. Things that naturally develop hand-eye coordination, body awareness. These are vital for everyday things like dressing themselves, playing with others. You see these moments like a child using a sign to ask for juice instead of melting down, and you realize, it's clicking, it's generalizing.
So it's less like treating separate symptoms and more like nurturing the whole child's developmental ecosystem. I like that. Now, you mentioned ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis, as the core. Some listeners might hear that term and, well, maybe have some older ideas or even concerns pop into their head. Can you touch on how this integrated approach uses ABA in a way that's really positive and child-focused?
That's a really fair and important question. Look, it's true that some early applications of ABA might have felt rigid, maybe overly focused on just compliance. But modern ABA, especially in an integrated model like this, has evolved so much, it's profoundly different. The absolute focus is on being child-centered, respecting the child's individual needs, and yes, neurodiversity. It's about fostering positive learning through things the child actually enjoys. Motivation is key. And this integrated view ensures that every technique supports communication needs, sensory needs. It's not just about changing behavior in a vacuum. So the whole approach rests on these evidence-based ABA principles. It's tailored, individualized. We use specific techniques like positive reinforcement. Simply put, offering genuine positive feedback when a child uses a skill or makes progress. That encourages them, right? And there's skill building through play. This is huge. Using fun, natural activities so kids learn while playing. It makes the skills much more likely to transfer outside the therapy room. We also explicitly teach communication and social skills. There are specific ABA techniques for helping kids find ways to express needs, wants, and interact more effectively. And one really powerful tool is functional communication training, or FCT. This basically helps a child replace a challenging behavior, maybe like hitting or screaming, with a functional way to communicate the same need, like pointing to a picture, using a word, gives them power, a voice.
Okay, that paints a much clearer picture of contemporary integrated ABA. It sounds like the big shift is from tackling isolated issues to really understanding and supporting the whole child all at once. So bringing it back to the listener, what does this all mean for you? For your child, your family, what are the real tangible benefits we're talking about?
Right, this so what question. The impact is where it gets really exciting, I think. First, you often see faster, more holistic progress. Because that single expert sees the connections, progress in one area tends to lift the others. Communication improves, behavior often follows. Motor skills improve, participation increases. It's synergistic. You avoid those frustrating plateaus where you're waiting for one therapy to catch up to another. Second, skills that stick. Because therapy integrates communication and motor skills into everyday activities and behavioral strategies, kids are much better at using what they learn in real life. On the playground, at school, at the dinner table. It's not just therapy stuff. Also, crucially for the child, it's therapy that feels like play. These sessions are designed to be dynamic, engaging, motivating. Kids are more likely to participate, even look forward to it. And for the family, this is huge. Less stress and more time. Think about it. Potentially fewer appointments overall. Less running around, less coordinating between different professionals. That means less time on the road, more time just being a family. And finally, what comes up again and again is peace of mind. Having that one consistent therapist who oversees the whole integrated plan. It reduces that mental load on parents. You're not trying to piece together reports from 3 different people. You have one point person who really knows your child. That's invaluable.
Wow, that's a compelling list. Integrating these traditionally separate fields seems to unlock some really significant advantages. So, who is this model best suited for? Which children tend to benefit most? And what really makes it stand out from, say, more traditional therapy centers?
It's a really great fit for a range of kids. Children with diagnoses like autism spectrum disorder, certainly also cerebral palsy or other general developmental delays where multiple areas are impacted. What sets it apart, I'd say, from many traditional centers, especially some autism centers, is precisely that deep integration. It's not just offering different services under one roof, it's one therapist weaving those threads together constantly. And the focus is intensely on personalized plans, developed hand in hand with the family, looking at their goals for their child through this comprehensive lens.
It really sounds like a paradigm shift, moving towards truly holistic support. It's about giving kids the integrated tools they need to, well, unlock their potential across the board.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought to leave people with. If you really start digging into the why behind a child's behavior, asking, is this about a sensory need? Is it a communication barrier they can't overcome right now? That deeper understanding can fundamentally shift how you as a family approach everything, how you support their development. It moves you beyond just managing behaviors on the surface.
Yeah.
Into something much more profound, more connected.
And here's where it gets really interesting, building on that. Because when you start seeing every action, even the challenging ones, as a potential form of communication, it just opens up entirely new ways to understand, connect with, and ultimately support your child. It truly reframes the whole picture, doesn't it? Gives you that deeper insight.